Datrian, Austin, Johnny, Debrisa. I'm Mason. I'm your host this evening. I'm just kidding. I'm not. That's who usually is
Hey,
here.
Mason.
Well, it's nice.
You've changed.
Yeah, it's a new hairstyle. So I had some questions planned, but I was really interested more in your artistic process because I felt like you were saying a lot with your music. If you wanted to kind of delve into that a little bit and start us off there.
Yeah. So this little project that we did tonight is brand new. Like these songs are super fresh, and we've kind of just been experimenting in the studio and trying new things. Our friend Datrian here is about to fly out to LA in a couple weeks and be on The Voice. He's our superstar in the group. So we knew we had like a little bit of time. We had a little window there, and we wanted to make some new tracks. But the process for these has been basically like we'll sit him down, we'll play him a bunch of beats, see what he likes. And man, the way this guy writes is incredible. He doesn't really write anything on paper.
What writing is he talking about?
Yeah, it's all it's all mental. Like we give him a couple minutes, and he's like, "I got something. Let me record real quick." And that's how those hooks came to be that we did today. He literally like wrote them in his head on the spot and recorded them. And then me and Johnny wrote our verses, kind of filled in the gaps. And yeah, that's been the creative process so far.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And shout out to Austin. He does the beats.
Yeah.
He's go DJ.
I'm the beat guy.
He's the
Architect. I call him the architect. He just he has a way of really bringing out the best of you because he puts so much into the actual production of it. So you can't half step. You know what I'm saying? You gotta come correct.
Yeah. My dad used to call my cousin and I half step and backslide. He'd be like, "Come on, let's go." And we'd be like, "Who's half step and who's backslide?" And he's like, "You know today. All right, come on, come on." You're like, "Oh, and we fell in line, you know." So, how much can you say about The Voice? Can you tell us like who you went with, or have you like gone on stage yet, or is it?
No, I have not. So my daughter actually turned in my audition tape. I had no idea that it happened because I had promised her that I would try out, and my brother passed away, and then I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then she found her favorite clip of me on YouTube and sent it in, and then I got an email, and I'm like one of those guys that spams every call, so I'm like, I don't know you. So I was like, who is this? Who is this? Who is this?
Hollywood, get out of here.
I don't know about you. I don't know anyone out there. So I finally picked up, and they're like, hey! And I was like, holy cow. So the process started, and we were a couple of weeks away, and we don't start filming until January, so that's pretty as much as I can really tell you right now, but it should be really nice. Season 20, here we come.
Yeah,
Team
2020.
Blake. Team Blake.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's going down.
All right.
It's going down.
Who are the judges this season? Who are your
Can't tell
options?
you that either. I can't tell you that either.
For real? Are they different?
Oh, well, now I'm intrigued.
They are judges that you have seen before. So
Okay.
they'll be putting some familiar faces back up there.
And how old is your daughter?
My daughter is 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
She believes in you so much. That's amazing.
I know, right? I must have did something right.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's a gem. So I was shot with an AK-47 13 years ago, and kind of everything kind of transformed for me at that time. Totally. And then, this little bundle of joy comes, and so I had to learn how to walk again. I had to learn how to do all this stuff because I had this little nugget, So we got super duper close because it was really just me and her hanging out for a while, and then. The more my journey started, the more I realized that she kind of saved me from depression and like not wanting to do and kind of staying stagnant where I was. So it's crazy that moments like this happen because she's still motivating me, even when I'm not really motivating myself. So shout out to you, Anna. I love you, baby girl.
Shout out
Yeah,
to Anna.
that's awesome. Yes.
That made my job so easy. I don't know how to. I was gonna be like, "What are your favorite restaurants?" I don't fucking know. Can I curse?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We can say curse words. Cool.
Okay.
That's amazing. How do I even follow that up? That's incredible. Thank you so much for sharing.
No worries.
Wow, I don't even know. I had like some, silly things.
You can have some silly things.
Thank you. Yeah. It's my first time, so I was really nervous coming in. But I figure it's y'all's first time too, so we can all be
Shout out birthday twins.
birthday twins.
Thought we just have one of those real quick.
11/22. Bring it up.
Hey.
Oh, it's the double up.
Yeah.
11 in the
We didn't want to come to play today. 11/22.
11 in the okay.
Oh, what are you doing for your birthday? You want to like plan or?
We should.
We should. I want to have a white trash wedding this year for my. I'm not getting married to anyone. I just want to wear a wedding dress from Goodwill and drink beer in my front yard. And I think that's like your birthday's the day you get to do that if that's what you want to do. It's like it's my day, and you're gonna come and bring me beer and leave.
Right.
So I was listening before I came in, and on y'all's latest track, you mentioned being from 828. And who was that? Who said that on the record?
Well, me and Austin, Daytrin, we're all natives.
Yeah, they're
born and raised.
Yeah.
What high school did y'all go to?
Asheville High, and Daytrin.
TC.
Yeah.
TC.
Oh, did I say that loud?
I went to Asheville.
Yeah, me and Austin actually met. He knew my older brother, one of my older brothers, and one day, my brother just invited him and a old band member over, and we've been running ever since. That was probably, I think I was 8th grade.
Oh, longer than 20
Yeah, you weren't even in high school yet.
No, I wasn't.
But
They
his,
were.
his older brother is a sick rapper though, and he actually like taught me a lot of like how to write in high school, like back in those days.
Well, that's who taught me is Austin and my brother as well. So I was the weakest link for the longest. Like, I mean, I to be honest, when I started, I had no clue bars, rhyming, like any of that stuff. They actually sat me down and was like, "Look, you gotta get it, man. There's formulas to it, It's like so." But yeah. So we've been rocking for a long time now. And shout out to Carnell, wherever you are out there. That's my brother.
CB.
Shout out.
I remember the first time I seen these guys, and
Oh, it's a good one.
I had no expectations. I was like, here we go again. And they blew my mind. And I was like, holy cow turd. These guys are not bad at all. And then the next song came on, and I was like, dude, they've got the whole pill jumping. And I was just like, dude, this is it. I guess at the time, hip hop was kind of making this transition from being, the Tupac era into being the Outkast era, and like so you're seeing all these new versions of hip hop come up, and then I'm watching these dudes like do their thing, and I was like, dude, those two, like that's hip hop to me. And like ever since then, I've kind of followed them, and then they gave me a chance actually to perform with them a few years ago, and I was like, yo, I would be super honored. And
I was gonna say,
then,
I think the first show we did together was in the here at the Mothlight upstairs. Yeah.
Yeah, it was an All Goes West festival.
Yeah, All Go West. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was dope.
West side is the best side.
We used I had a band, a little band outfit then, and we took all their tracks and turned them into live tracks, and like watching Austin's creations come to life like that was like watching a Gorillaz video, man. I was like, dude, this is super dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is nice. And it's crazy because at that time, I think my drive wasn't what it is now. And like, I was so, I really, I was lazy, dude. I was super lazy. And like watching them perform and watching them grind. And then we went to this festival and holy cow. I was like, man, this is going to be great. And then all of a sudden it was just like, topless women everywhere. And my band is like strictly church. So they were like, I know. I was like, dude, it's okay. It's all right. It's natural.
Austin, like, this is going to be great right now.
That's Bible times.
Yeah, like what it was, like, Datrian brought us, we had like the gospel band, and our second gig, our first one was upstairs here, our second gig was at Gratify Festival in South Carolina, and it was like right when we got there, 100 degrees outside, and I'm talking about not just like one or two naked people, like 50, 60 naked people all in the river, and then they all come up like to our stage and stuff.
No towel.
No, nothing.
Air dry. Let it drip. Let it drip.
I think that was maybe the last gig
That
we
was-
played with the gospel band.
Yeah, they were like, man, let's get out of
Right.
here. I was
The
like,
keyboard player had been married for like a month. Shout out to Terry.
Yeah.
And his wife was like, "Oh my God!" And I was like, "Yo, man, you got the same thing."
it's like, yeah, like, you ain't the only one, man. We over here too, like, whoa.
We like to get free.
But yeah, that was a good.
That was a good time,
one.
man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
How old were y'all at the time?
Let's see. This was probably like 5 years ago, something like that.
I think it was more than that.
Yeah. That was before I had my two kids. I have two little boys, one age 6 and one 4. So this was right before that. That was probably about 6 years ago. I think that was about around the same time he was born. So
Time flies.
man, it
When you're
does.
having fun,
It does.
or you're paying bills.
Or it's a pandemic now.
And
I'm
then
kind of. I just lost
actually
track of
doesn't
time this year. Well, I mean, I just don't. I don't. Wednesday, Monday. Yeah.
Yeah, it is today.
I woke
Yeah,
up
exactly.
today.
It's like, eh.
It's another day.
And
Yeah.
Debrisa, how did you get involved with the project?
Oh my gosh. Well, if we go way, way back, I met Austin years and years ago. He and I worked together at the Orange Peel, and I've been, well, that's how we first met. Then I've just been a local musician here since December of 2007.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, gosh, you know how it works. It's like one of those things. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
let's go. You sing, you play. Let's do all the things. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, she's in.
Debrisa is one of the
Don't let her
hardest
downplay
working
herself like
women
that.
in the
either.
entertainment
Like,
business.
Just a local
locally.
artist.
For sure.
Yeah, so Debrisa's in multiple local bands here in Asheville. Empire Strikes Brass being one, Dirty Logic being another, and she also sings with 23 Skidoo, which she also won a Grammy with.
Shout out to Cactus.
So.
Yeah.
Cactus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we had Datrian coming in the studio to do these tracks, we knew we wanted super great harmonies with
Yeah.
his vocals. So of course we had to bring in Debrisa for that.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thanks,
that
y'all.
vibrato. That
Oh, thank
vibrato.
you. Debrisa.
That's amazing. I love how you weren't gonna bring that up. You're like, yeah, just like a local musician with a Grammy. I worked at the Orange Peel.
I don't like to do all that, you know. If you know, you know.
Right.
If you know.
The more you
I'm
know.
not like,
You're not like bringing it in. You're like, I get it like once a week. I was like, just wanted you to see it. Like, I don't know. Have you ever seen a Grammy? Because I mean, I've seen mine, but I don't know if you've seen the one you don't have yet. I feel like the Orange Peel has changed so much, even in the past. Like, I mean, all of Asheville is. It doesn't feel the same as like growing up here at all. But even like the Orange Peel used to feel so different, and now,
yeah.
Belshare is not a thing anymore.
Yeah, I miss Belshare.
That's a real.
Belshare was my jam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like
Oh,
Yeah.
there's like
Represent.
little like passes people have to make. They're like, I'm from Asheville, and it's like, but are you really?
Yeah. I
Like,
know,
do you
right?
remember Doc Shays or not? Like,
hey. Oh, I wish I really liked Doc Shane a lot.
Yeah, it was great.
And Hannah Flanagan's.
Hannah Flanagan's. I forgot about that. Oh my God.
They were
Do y'all
neighbors.
have any you remember from like way back in Asheville?
Way back.
Oh, y'all
I
were
remember
Boudreaux's.
Be Here
What
Now.
was it?
Ed Boudreaux's.
Ed
Yeah.
Boudreaux's.
And I always went
that
to
was a
Rabbit's
barbecue
Motel,
place.
man.
Yeah.
Rabbit's Motel
When I
had
ate
the
there.
best,
Yeah,
the
rabbits.
best flipping soul food in town, man. Like,
For
that was,
real.
it was dirty, but it was good.
It was good. Real good.
All right.
So I don't know how you guys feel about conspiracy theories. There's a couple I think are true. Do you guys have any that you like are kind of really into, or you definitely like lean towards being true, or just think are like,
Do you mean as in like the Mandela effect, sort of? Is that
okay,
like
that one
conspiracy
scares me.
theory?
That one scares me. So I don't even know if that's a conspiracy theory. Is it, or is it just like proven?
Is it? Dun, dun,
What is it?
dun.
What is it?
It's this thing where like people remember things being a certain way collectively, and then go back and it's not that
And
way
it's
at all.
not- yeah.
Like a huge group of people remembered Nelson Mandela dying, I think.
Yeah.
And he turned out that he was alive, and everyone was like, no,
Yeah.
no, no, he died a couple years ago.
Yeah.
There's like the Berenstain Bears is spelled with an A. There's
When
a
did
couple
that
of
happen?
just like absolutely
I'm
crazy
tripping
ones.
out.
That one freaks me out. Like I can't think about that too much, or else I'm like,
And
you
this
know.
is the what's this theory?
The
Or
Mandela effect.
the Mandela.
Mhm.
Look that up.
But does that count? Is that would that
Is
be
it
a
real?
conspiracy theory?
you don't know.
I think that's what
I
it
think it's
is.
real. I was wondering if y'all had any like, you like really into aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, yeah.
For
I would like to say
sure.
something.
I have for and I'm like, I don't really think we're from this planet. Maybe we're the aliens.
Maybe.
At least
I
We're
said-
really
Combo
deep here.
of
Now
them.
we have some deep conversations.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to go too deep. It's like,
Here's the rabbit hole.
yeah, exactly.
I found it.
My stepdad got like really into UFO chasing like very weirdly in the middle of his life, and then at the same time also got really into RVs. Like he didn't own one, he just liked looking at the Facebook page and like pricing it and being like, that's price gouged. Like, and it was very. I was like, those are the things. That's what we're.
Going to Roswell. We're good. We're out.
Yeah. That's it.
We're out.
You're connecting it. Wow.
Amy, did you ever go to Roswell?
No, I was actually born in New Mexico, but I've never been to Roswell.
wow.
But you never know.
Have you ever seen a
Plenty of
UFO?
time.
Maybe.
We just flipped the interview. Now it's on.
Now
you.
it's my turn. Hey guys. No, I think maybe once or twice, but I think you can definitely be in a space where you're like, that's a UFO, and you can't be talked out of it. And then you get out of that space and you kind of like start second guessing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was up at the observatory during what's it called when they're shooting stars?
Meteor shower.
Yeah,
Yeah.
meteor shower.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's a meteor shower, and there was just like a circle of lights that was going like that.
Whoa.
And kind of staying in one spot, and I was like, "Do you guys see that?" Like I was trying to get everyone to like verify, and they were like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay, we're not gonna look at it. We're not gonna invite it. Like, I'm gonna let them fly by. That's their business."
Yep.
And me and Austin had a similar encounter like that when we had went and shot a music video out by the Outer Banks and just went out on the beach that night, and I swear just looking at the stars, and I've always heard that you only get like one shooting star like every so often in a lifetime or whatever, but this night I swear it had to be 50 of them.
It was a meteor shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was shooting all different ways
Yeah.
though. It was just like, it looked like some space travel to me. It freaked me out, but I'm just like, whoa, it's late. Time to go lay down.
It's late.
And then me and Debrisa
That's
saw
enough.
a meteor shower too in Charleston, right? Remember in Charleston when we were at the beach? We saw all those shooting stars too
Yeah, I think it's you know my memory.
when we were camping. Yeah,
You know my memory.
Man.
it happened. I
Yes.
promise. I was
I'll take your
there.
word. I'll take your word. My friends have this word kind of for experiences like that called getting yoinked. Where like it's like this moment where you feel so crazy alive and you're like, oh my god, I'm getting yoinked right now. And, like kids get it a lot. You kind of see them get like really yoinked about something. Like a horse girl see a
Yeah.
horse and be like, dude, you're like, you getting yoinked? And she's like, yeah.
I like that.
I feel like you say meteor showers, you're like, you feel this big and you're like, oh, that's really big. And you kind of have that moment of like extreme presence and you want to pull back because it's so big.
It almost gives you like anxiety. It's just like, oh shit.
Not even almost. I'm like, that's enough. I've thought
Yeah,
about it
yeah,
enough.
I got time to cut that out. That's enough right there. Yeah.
I'd like to go back to whatever was not that earlier when we were not doing this. That was great.
Yeah.
Do y'all have any other experiences you feel yoink you? Now that you know the word.
Say what?
Like experiences that make you feel really alive or connected or, you know.
Eating food.
I've
I
got-
have to really say it. Like seriously, when I eat like my favorite foods, it's always a yoink moment. Like because I'm like, whoa, why is this so good all the time? I'm like pizza. It's like new every time.
You're like, that bite was good too, man. Like,
Yoink moment.
then like the bite next is going to be really great, I think. Like,
See,
Pizza really does do it every time. Like, it's the best food out there, possibly.
Austin,
Rosetta
you was
says
telling
that for me.
about you just went on. I know it was a business trip more for Waking Justice, but you were telling me about the farm and seeing you just taking pictures with that this massive cow and
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Yeah, I went to an animal sanctuary in Texas and hung out for the first time ever with like these massive pigs that had been rescued from slaughterhouses.
Yeah.
And because like when they're normally slaughtered, they're like only like 6 months old, so they're really small. They're like, well, actually they're like still like 100 or something pounds. So they're actually kind of big. But when they grow up past that, when they're rescued, they're gigantic. They're 900 pounds. So I was hanging out with 900-pound pigs. And I really did feel like small. And cows, giant cows that were like over 1,000 pounds. And I love animals, but I was like a little scared, like a little timid around them just because they're so giganto.
Dude, pigs, I don't want to sound, weird. Pigs eat whole human bodies, like bones and everything. Absolutely not. Absolutely. I'm going to let that, like, sit with y'all, that 900-pound animals
Yeah.
Yeah.
eat.
Are we doing the
I want
Silence of the Lambs? Wasn't that in Silence of the Lambs?
Ooh,
The whole
Johnson.
My
song?
mom does all the time. Tuck into the face. They'll never come back again.
Well, that's a really good one. Yeah. I mean, like, animals are a really great yoinking point, and, it's really, yoinking's about you, personally. I don't
Yeah.
think I can describe it for you more than I already have. Can I look at my questions, or is this one full?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Good, unless you guys want to talk about anything.
I
I
don't know.
I hope everybody's getting out and voting soon.
Yes.
Very soon.
Vote, vote, vote.
It started today.
Yes, sir. It
You can go to
did.
the mall. I think the Asheville Mall.
Avoid the mall?
It's
Avoid the
I
mall?
drove by this morning right outside the building. Just,
Ooh.
what were you saying? You said
Oh, it's the Fairview Elementary had barely a line at all.
Okay.
that's what I'm gonna try.
The library in South Asheville was literally like from the entrance of Biltmore Park all the way to almost like Lake Julian. It was like,
I mean, that's how the mall was when it opened.
that's crazy.
I was sitting there like, oh, I thought I was gonna do this today.
Not
Yeah,
today.
I have a month. I have a
I'll come
month.
back tomorrow. I'm like, I'm getting it done this week, but it's like, nah.
Yeah, in
It's like-
Atlanta they have like lines that are people are like, I've been waiting in line for 8 hours to vote,
Like,
and it's like that's very. I'm really proud of people who do that, but
Yeah.
that's not the case. That's not how it should be. Like
Right.
you shouldn't
No,
have one.
yeah.
I mean, just like not to get political, blatant voter suppression is absolutely insane. What do you mean people are waiting in line 12 hours to vote?
Right.
It should be a national holiday.
it should
Just
be,
throwing it
everybody
out
should be
there.
off work and on that day.
Close it
For
up.
sure.
Give people rides to and from. I think Lyft and Uber do things like that, but they're still huge corporations. Like the public transit system should just be.
Which
Yeah.
I know Austin, the one I caught him one year shuttling people.
Yeah, I've taken
He
people to
gave me
vote.
the idea, so I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna hit. And if you need a ride, Facebook me, Instagram me, I'll give you a ride. I don't care where you at. As long as
Nice.
I get about give me no further than 45 minutes out.
Okay, I was
I'm
gonna
not
say
trying
like,
to be driving all day though.
Well,
I mean, there's limits.
Let me retract that.
just
you
not
like meet
South
me halfway, like I'll
Yeah,
drive,
yeah,
but like
I'm not- if you in Charlotte, you're good. Figure it out.
yeah. You have friends in Charlotte, like
Oh, I do for sure. A lot of them. But yeah, that's an awesome thing to do though. Big up to you, Austin, for doing that. He the first one that planted that seed in my mind to actually give a ride to people. That's
Yeah.
actually like, oh well, I can't the bus and all this. And it's like, oh, don't worry, I got you. So,
just
I
gotta
think-
get to the polls, whatever it takes.
yeah.
I feel like that's a big thing I've been thinking about a lot recently is moving away from ideas of like charity or like someone up here helping someone down here, which is not really how like community works, and focusing more on mutual aid. And it's like, here's what I have. What do you need? Like I
Yeah.
have all these extra vegetables from this farm. Let me bring this down and like.
Yep.
Oh man, I've got this car that works. Let me drive you where you need to go, and like focusing on fostering those community, and that's such a great like first step. And it's grassroots. You don't need to go through like, oh, I'm gonna go work at this food bank. That's awesome if you do, but you can also
Yeah.
just be like, hey, you're hanging out outside Harris Teeter and you look hungry. Can I grab you something?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mutual aid.
Yeah. Pass it on.
Yes.
One of my
Sweet
friends
sovereignty.
the other day said something cool. He gave me some stuff and he was like, hey, you know what? I just want to help the helpers. He was like, you're a helper, I'm a helper, let's help the helpers.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's actually really cool. I like that. Let's help the helpers. I like
Yeah.
that.
That's amazing. My friend's been doing that. She's an acupuncturist. She's works in TCM, traditional Chinese medicine. She tries to give a lot of things like that to people who have been actively protesting, because that takes a toll on your body, and it's just like all that kind of like community care is so incredible. So with your podcast, do you talk a lot about like food sovereignty, or what do you like to focus on, or what's your?
Well, with my podcast, with Waking Justice, yeah, it's actually pretty much right now about food sovereignty, and just building local communities from the ground up. You know what I mean? So it happens to do a lot with food right now, but we'd be down to talk about anything: community policing, yeah, like any part of a sustainable local community, you
Yeah.
know.
That's
Yeah.
actually what I went to school for. I
Really?
went to international studies, but I wanted to focus on indigenous land sovereignty. My family works in Australia with Aboriginal land rights. And I went out there and I was like, that was a yoink moment. I was like, dude, no way, you just do that? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, what? You can just do that? Like, be like a good person and do good things? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, for your work, you do that?
Yeah,
Have you
yeah.
ever heard of Chiapas, Mexico, and the Zapatistas revolution there?
Yeah, the Zapatistas are awesome. I don't know
So
much about
amazing.
them, but like what I've heard is so freaking cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're amazing. They have they fit into a lot of feminist principles, which is just like incredible, and the like elements of care they lay out for each other and like their demands, and also just Chiapas as a region, agriculturally is so amazing.
Yeah.
Like Syria during their civil war.
Mhm. They have a town that's like all women, right?
It's an egalitarian like political structure. Like for every job that a man has, like there or representative, there's also a woman. Like
Those are big college words.
That's awesome.
That's all ladies. They're
Yeah.
ladies with big guns and stuff, I guess. I don't know. Egalitarian's a better word, I'm sure. That's like the Combahee River Collective too. If you've ever looked into that, they're amazing, and there's like a lot of connection to the land and all kinds of
Nice.
stuff. Definitely fits in with Asheville. I can see that y'all grew up around here.
Yeah, yeah.
You never get too far. Like you're always a little granola. There's always a touch of it. You're like, I do love patchouli. I can't.
I do. I can't
It smells
help
good.
It's one of those Asheville things. I'll never be able to shake it.
The drum circle I can shake. I can do with it. You
No,
know?
I already missed the drum. You don't miss the drum circle? I
Man.
never went. I just heard it in the distance.
I feel like we watched the drum circle evolve. 'Cause
Yeah.
It was never like it had been at its peak. It was like,
Oh yeah.
that was impressive to see that, you know.
I'm glad it's where it is now.
Yeah, here's an old school Asheville thing. So I bet a lot of people might not know that Pritchard Park used to be the bus station.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it used to be the bus station, and the buses would pull in. They would pull around the park,
Yeah.
Yep, just
Everyone
and they
did
would do
this?
circles.
down the interstate or come back the other way.
Yep.
That's where all the trouble was.
Here's another fun fact.
Take it there.
Thirsty Monk is where I met this guy. His parents owned that building, and it was a record store and a CD store. It
Really?
was called Almost Blue.
Mm-hmm.
If you from Asheville, you remember that. That was like the place you got your music, you know.
That's
Yeah.
But, yeah.
His dad is now on city council.
Oh, really?
Yep.
What's your dad's name?
Brian Haynes.
Oh, yeah. I got kind of involved in local politics over
Nice.
the summer. It's a familiar name.
Yeah.
Is he the one? Is your uncle in like a very famous band? And he
Yeah.
lives like right up the road from me, North Asheville.
Yeah, my uncle is in Government Mule, and he used to be in the Allman Brothers, and
what
he
it
played
is.
with the Dead. So yeah, Warren Haynes. Shout
Family
out to my
business.
uncle, Uncle Warren.
Warren.
Uncle Warren. Do you feel like that's what led you to music, or was it your parents' record store, or was it just kind of something that happened?
It was all of the above for sure. From like the earliest memories I have, the first concert I ever went to was Willie Nelson when I was like
Dude, no.
probably 3 or 4. That's the first one I remember at least. And then I was at Allman Brothers shows by the time I was like 4 or 5 years old, all the way. the rest of my life. Allman Brothers, Government Mule, all that stuff.
I remember the first
Just
time
grew up with it.
Austin took me to an Allman Brothers show. I'm sitting there, I'm standing beside Greg Allman, and he's like, yo, that's Greg Allman. Who is Greg Allman? And I was just like, oh my God. Yo, I mean, I'm sorry, I did not know. Like, yeah.
I did not know.
I mean, he's kind of looking like, yep.
I am Greg Allman. One of the brothers. Are there two? I've never gotten that.
Oh, the brothers? There was Greg and Dwayne Allman. Yeah.
Well, now you know.
I was
So
about to say,
now I know.
Johnny, that was his stuff.
And Dwayne.
I mean, hell, I better know when R.I.P. Allman Brothers. But at the same time, yeah, I mean, there was a few instances, like, also, I would be like, ooh, do you know who that is? I'm like, nope. Don't know. He's like, oh, that's the drummer for, just naming off the bands. I'm like, how do you know this, man? Like, to be honest with you, I came up in a very gospel
Oh, yes.
religious home myself.
Yes.
My mom did not do any music that wasn't gospel music. So it was like I had to hide CDs and stuff as I was a kid.
My sister did too.
Yeah, and I mean seriously, hide them good. Because if my mom, right out. I mean, trash, window, whatever the closest, thing
My brother was
was.
grounded for having a Dave Matthews Band CD, which just like would not be the CD I would pick to get grounded for. Like I would think that out and pick like something like cooler,
Oh, man.
No vibes. But I just mean like to get grounded for.
Right, if you're getting grounded, you
Carter
want to go down
Buford
for
is a
like
monster
Snoop
on the
Dogg or
drum.
something. We don't want
We had the worst. Now, just to tell you where we were at. Around the time, right before my mom stopped caring, because she was like, "All right, you do what you gonna do." I remember the first CD I bought and had hidden that she found was 3-6 Mafia.
So
And I had no
he went straight from gospel to the devil that quick.
over my head. It was because I'm just saying 3-6 Mafia. Oh, cool. Because
You're like, I like the album cover. I don't know, so the art's nice. Like,
I was just like, cool. And my brother goes and buys the Eminem CD a little bit later. And I mean, my mom came home early and caught us both in our rooms jamming. Back on the old boom boxes that was like, took up your whole desk. It was just like 6 disc changes. Like, we could do like, yeah. He in the next room and we having battle competition. My mom walks in the room and over here you got sipping on some scissor, and over here you got the Kim song.
you're like trying to
Eminem.
change it.
I'm like, dang it.
The blood Jesus.
It really was. Oh man, it was horrible. My mom took all the CDs, threw them away, the whole collection. I was mad. But
My sister, I visited her in Chicago, and she's very much more in the faith than I am now. And she was like, well, did you bring your Bible? And I was like, I left it at home by accident. She's like, I got one for you. And I was like, thank you. And we went in, and we're sitting there, and they started singing praise songs. And I knew all the words, and I was singing it, like looking at her. And I was like, do you see me remembering all the words? Don't worry about me, Maggie. I only send remember down there. I was like, I left my Bible at home. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And here's a hymn book.
Yes. Yeah, she wasn't allowed to listen to secular music, so it's very funny as an adult because she's still like, she's kind of exploring some stuff, but she's still very much stuck in like the 90s.
Yeah.
She's like, I just love Britney Spears. But she means like very old Britney Spears, like
Yeah.
she's still like into NSYNC. We both had big Selena phases,
Nice, yeah.
It's
She
hard
just
not to
loved
be
it.
stuck in the 90s.
Yeah.
it was all that.
It was a good decade.
We was actually going make a song like that's 90s ass shit. That was actually a song we contemplated the other day. Just saying stuff like, oh, you all that in a bag of chips. That shit.
Bring back all the 90s things.
Yeah, all the 90s. Yeah.
They're doing that now.
They are doing it. Yeah.
Has anybody brought back Cowabunga, dude?
It's our turn.
Hey!
This has been Free Radio. Go ahead and check out their set if you haven't already, and if you guys want to shout out anyone.
Yeah, so I want to first shout out real quick Datrian Johnson and Debrisa McKinney for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank y'all for being here.
Thank you guys for letting us be a part. And shout out to my band, Oil and Water. Love you guys. Let's check them out.
I'd like to do a shout out as well. Thank you so much, Austin and Johnny. Thank you, Free Radio, for having
Hey.
us. Thank you very much. Great music all the time. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to my bands as well. Oh, hey, Cameron. Shout out to my friends. Hey.
Thank you for being a friend.
That's right. Hey.
Now I want to give a shout out to you guys putting on this production. For inviting
Yeah,
us.
shout out to the
Yes, thank you
Commons.
so
To all the
much.
cameramen, the audio workers, and the lady interviewer. Thank you all. Thank you all.